Hello everyone, I'm the Pape and welcome to my Should I on Deadcore. Deadcore is a game by 5-Bits Games. It was on Sura before it came out on Steam recently, and it seems to be their very first project by 5-Bits Games. Couldn't find out too much about the company itself, and I'm just gonna tell you a bit about the game, but let's first head into the settings option menu. So you have very basic settings, just controls, very basic stuff. You have the video option, and for whatever reason the custom button doesn't always seem to work. Yeah, I have the game currently running on Ultra, and even though I have a very puny computer, it runs perfectly fine. I get some frame rate drops every once in a while for about 10 to 15 seconds, but I can't actually I haven't found out where they come from. Might be my computer, might be the game, and it doesn't depend on whether there's lots of stuff on the screen or not. Two separate volume sliders. Like I said, the options menu is very basic, but it makes it work. So what exactly is Deadcore? Deadcore is a first-person platformer speedrun experience. Now it's a game, don't worry about that, but it's a bit something else. It's a bit different than what I'm used to. You have the speedrun option over here, which is basically the levels that you find in the games, and I think some separate. I think they're split up in parts. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, you can just speedrun the levels from what I've seen. The ones you've finished already, and there's some locked ones. I haven't completely found out about those yet. Here it's exactly the same, and I'm just gonna head straight into the story mode. The achievements options isn't worth mentioning. It just shows you your achievements inside of the game. So we have the levels where you can decide where you want to start off. You have logs, which tell you a bit about the background story, about the theme and the idea behind the game, like what's going on, and it feels a bit Lovecraftian in a very dystopian way. I haven't quite found out what exactly is going on, but it looks really cool. And though I'm not much of a completionist, I'm very curious about the logs. Like, as you've seen, I tried to find as much as possible. The level I'm in right now is a bit hard, so I haven't found any there, if I remember well. And you can also find music, which you can see over here, like music tracks, the logs, and sparks. I found one in the very first level. I don't know what they're meant for. I think they changed the level layout, if I understood it right. Now if they don't, then I obviously didn't understand it right. So I'm level 4. You see the cycle over here. What I find a bit sad is that you can't access this menu inside of the game. So if you want to check if you've missed any logs or tracks or sparks, the game doesn't actually tell you. Apart from that, you have those 4 skills. I have 3 right now. This one I'll get later in the game from what I guess. And the switch gun, the dash, and the Gmod, and I'm gonna show them to you inside of the game. Now, one of the first memorable and important things, and I think great things, is that the game starts you off at your last checkpoint. So should you ever have the need to just... Okay, I'm gonna explain all of this to you in a second. If you have the need to just stop the game, you don't have to redo the whole level, which I think is great. Okay, so this one is pretty self-explanatory. Almost everything that's orange, I can shoot at, and like it's kind of like switches. So this red grid is insta-death, and it rises with me. So if this shouldn't. Okay, the game seems to be bugging out on me, because I know for a fact that this should have changed the gravity field, which isn't here right now. Okay, this is weird. Might be that I broke the game and I don't know how. Okay, this is interesting. I'm gonna leave this in nonetheless. And let's see if I can just restart the last checkpoint. Okay, I'm gonna cut this out. Gonna go into the menu and back into the game. Don't know what happened there. Let's see if this time I can make it work. So yeah, my gun is basically a remote with which I can change my surroundings. Oh, this is weird. Like, I've been here before. I know what's supposed to happen. Huh. Okay, the game is bugging out on me. Now that's actually a bit sad because this is the first actual bug or glitch I've had in this game. So, I'm gonna just restart the whole level so you can see some of the gameplay. Now, I have to say, you have to judge a game by stuff like this, and that's a bit embarrassing. And not from my part, because I didn't do anything wrong. That's bug testing 101. So yeah, my remote gun is used to just push switches, press buttons that are in general not actually buttons or switches, but mostly just colored stuff like, okay, this, Jesus. I hate the beginning part of the level, which is why I wanted to show you a later part of the level. So yeah, I can use the remote gun to just get access to different parts of the levels. In general, you have different paths that you can use. For example, instead of going the upper path, I just took the lower route, and it still works. And that's one of the basic ideas about the game, is that you can, if you find a way to exploit the level design, just try it out. Because like stuff like this, there are no invisible walls from what I've seen, so if you find a way to progress and it's not what the developer had in mind, what you're gonna experience is maybe an easier route. Really cool. It's really neat, especially if you consider that this game is like speedrun heaven. The way, oh no. No. Okay, I'm gonna take the bitch route. Go down here. So even if the developer didn't think about you taking this path, it's just a viable option, and I think it's great that they didn't include any invisible walls or force you to just take a certain path just because they felt they designed it that way and you have to do it that way. So I think it's a speedrun mecca, if you wanted to call it that. And it's really fun. The controls are really tight. Like, this is one of the main things that you might worry about in a game like this. How does it feel? And it just feels glorious. It feels really good. Like, I never feel like I'm not in control. And yeah, so this is the part where I get the gravity module. And this is the way the game teaches you about new mechanics or whatever new stuff in your surroundings. So if I step into that, I get a bit of a different gravity field. Now, for whatever reason, they don't tell you exactly where the ground is. Like, I mean, the actual ground. So this is below, and with some of the puzzles, it gets a bit weird. So you don't really know if you're doing it right. But apart from that, in general, the game doesn't make too many mistakes. Like, for example, what I said earlier about taking different paths and everything. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking a completely different path just because I want to, and it's a viable option. Like, nobody's gonna stop me. No invisible wall, no insta death, no anything. And I think that's great. That makes the game much more interesting, and the openness of it, the ability to just explore. Whoa, the ability to just explore. Ha, and I didn't die. Is really cool. Like I'm supposed to go down here. I'm gonna show it to you just to get an idea about the very simple layout, and that's the actual path I have to take. But as you see, the gravity field stuff is a bit weird, and it's not handled in the best way, if you ask me. Especially if I'm not always sure if I'm falling down or I'm not. And this is what happens. So okay, that's okay. I know where I am. Now the gun itself is used in a very interesting way if you look at it. I have 26 shots, which are actually my ammunition, with which I push switches, and attack the enemy. And the enemy is one of the other different and weird things about this game. Like, no, I really don't know what I'm doing wrong here. It's supposed to just... Okay, go in there. No. Okay, I'm gonna do this very slowly so you can maybe explain to me what I'm doing wrong. Okay, I fall down. Oh. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to do a motion sickness warning before this video. Because, yeah, this is a bit weird. Now the game itself, I chose this path, and I'm really curious about this path. Okay, so I have to stay in the middle, and yeah, it's a puzzle platformer. It's actually kind of like a. Okay, here we go. Okay, we got this. Okay, and over there, yeah. So I have the gun. I have a dash ability, which you have seen me use, I guess, a lot. I'm more often than not when playing this, I have really been speechless. Like, not only because I don't know where I'm supposed to go, but that too, but because the game just feels, the world just feels exciting. So let's see. Okay, there's something. That's not what I was supposed to shoot at. And the red stuff, of course, kills me. Ah, here we go. And okay. Now, if you remember, if you know Tech 3000, which is this very fast-paced runner, some of the parts in the game feel very runner-like, so endless runner-like, where you just have to go straight forward in a Wow, that scared me. Like, wow. That just... I don't know. Ah, okay, I missed... I chose a different path earlier, and I have to say I'm really amazed. Ah, okay, I died. The game throws... It has some very simple mechanics, but it throws new stuff at you. Every time you enter a new level, a new region. Ah, okay, I can do this. Okay, this is great. This is this is so much fun. Just in all, to be just very, very short and very brief. This game is so much fun. I haven't had this much. Wait, I've been here. No, I haven't been here. I haven't had this much fun with a first-person shooter in such a long time, and I'm really glad that I get to play this game, because it's something it's really out of the ordinary, and I'm so glad that it exists, because it shows you what's possible. I don't know if you can see it on the recording, but right now I'm having one of those frame rate drops, Let's see how long it takes to just... It goes away in a few seconds. It'll go away. I'm very sure of that because I've had that earlier. And it's not because of this part is very CPU intensive or something. It's just... Yeah, I guess... I don't know. And here we go. Everything's fine. And it's... Like I said, it's not because the part is very CPU intensive, because otherwise it wouldn't... It still wouldn't run okay. No, please. Huh. Run properly. So there are minor gripes with this game, like the frame rate drops, which really suck in a game like this. So especially in a game where everything's fast and everything's really intense, you don't want to feel like you're not in control. And whenever the frame rate drops, you're not in control, in all honesty. You have to deal with that, and that's a bit annoying, to be honest. I can't say that it's not, but apart from that, I really haven't had any major problems with this game. The only problems you have is maybe that it's too hard, and yes, I have to say it is really hard. Of course, first-person platformer, it's one of those weird things. You don't see that too often because it's hard to maneuver, but I have to say it feels really cool. Sometimes it feels too good, like it feels really real. I had my heart drop down my pants quite a couple of times just because I was falling someplace where I shouldn't be falling, and it feels a bit too intense. I had to take a break earlier because this is really, really hardcore. But yeah, that's the game in a nutshell. It's a very, very different experience. It's very, very hard, and I honestly have to say I can only recommend it because it's just fun, and I haven't played anything like this ever, I would dare say. Okay, I have to go over there. And I'm curious whether you have. Because, like, it's a mixture between Mirror's Edge and Super Meat Boy and Portal. And I don't think you hear that a lot. So anyways, that's the game in a nutshell. I deserve that. It's currently out on Steam, just released, and it's 9.99 euros or your regional equivalent. And I really hope that the developer just fix a couple of the bugs, maybe implement some of the menus that I find a bit missing, and hopefully they'll deliver some new and interesting challenge maps, because I'd love to see more stuff like this. This game deserves your attention, and if you're looking for, oh man, if you're looking for something different, something you haven't played at all, just go out, give Deadcore a chance. And that's it from me. Hope you found this interesting, or at least helpful in any way, and hope you get to play some video games today. See you guys some other day.